Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? We're back.
I'm great. How are you, Miss London?
I'm great too. And you guys forget that 8:21 up there. This is not the time. It's not. I'm doing great. So how are you? We thought we need to come back and continue something, so we can talk about your program that's coming up.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Irene. I'm part of the LICMC radio family. I also have a project that I'm working on. Actually, it's out now through my podcast, cbiztvmedia.com. Myself, and shout out to my sis, Sylvia. But the project I have out now, it's available through my podcast, and you can also get it separately as a separate download. It's called Why I Didn't Get Married. And you can find out more about it. And you can check out our podcast, our special series, Single Christian Girl, all of that on the website at cbiztvmedia.com. That's cbiztvmedia.com. So I want to talk about it. I want to really focus on the project Why I Didn't Get Married, Miss London.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. I think that's an exciting topic, but also I don't. We need to be able to tune into that because I'm sure a lot of people may be able to relate to that. Um, You know, I would like to say sometimes people think, and I think I was looking at some other people talking on social media, and they said sometimes, some people tired of people at the church and family and friends, and they look at you just because you haven't got married. When are you going to get married? When are you going to have a baby? And so everybody does not necessarily have to do that, but people say, okay, this is a traditional thing. And it's like, is this something that you need to do? Sometimes it's just some things that we don't do in life. We have other things and it didn't go that way. So, um, you had mentioned that too, why I never got married and why I didn't get married. Um, and it kind of makes me think. I mean, I've been married, but like, why I wouldn't get married again? This can be another whole another phase after the phase. Why didn't I
That
not?
sounds like a great that sounds like a great segue because honestly, it makes me think about I wasn't trying to do this on purpose, but it makes me think about the Tyler Perry movies. Why did I get married? And I think it's why did I get married too. So me and you, we can have why I didn't get married, and then you say why I didn't get married again.
Yeah,
That's the sequel, right?
yeah.
But
So can I
I
ask you what prompted this? The whole where'd you this idea culminate from? This big creation of a program, which I cannot wait to see.
Well, you're gonna hear it because it's really audio form. It's like more like an audio book slash
Okay,
podcast.
okay.
So it's not visual; it's audio only. Just
It makes
imagine either listening to a podcast or purchasing an audio book and listening to it. So that's this idea came about because of God putting me in the situations that He put me in. That I said, okay, I could take this situation and just have this negative tone on it and just feel bad about it, or I can take it and learn from it and assess and share it with others that may be able to connect or may be able to learn from it as well. So being put in certain positions is basically how this whole thing came about. And I know it's not easy to talk about these things because, of course, most people want to talk about the successful, like how I finally got married or something like that. But I think it's really important to talk about things, even if they're not um, in rose-colored glasses. There's not perfection. It's not cookie cutter. It's not what you expected, and it may be a letdown, but it's a lesson in it. And I think it could be helpful to. It was helpful for me also just to clear my mind of it, cleanse myself of it also, and just go back in my head and say, okay, this I wasn't even looking at this. I wasn't thinking about that. You know, this project is only kind of part one of more to come. So we're going to be talking more about these type of related things. But yes, my last relationship really sparked this, and then it made me kind of look back into the other romantic situations and relationships, why I didn't get married, and kind of assess that. And then I kind of see, come to a conclusion of what my assessment is. And I feel like, everybody was going to have their own different assessment, because life is life. We're all different and separate individuals. Well, what's your assessment of why you didn't get married? And I think it can be something important, because sometimes we may just go in a circle and say, oh, it didn't work out because of, there's some surface things. It didn't work out because the dates were wrong. It didn't work out because, and then, or sometimes we'll turn it on ourselves and say it didn't work out because maybe I'm not the right person and I'm not fit to be married, and I don't know how to be a wife, or I don't know how to be a husband. So I don't think you should blanket it like that and set yourself up like that either. There's other things involved. It's the other person involved. There's life circumstances involved. So you have to take all that to assessment and say, why didn't I get married? And can this help me in the future, in my future relationships? Do I even know if I want to get married? Kind of do some introspection on yourself. Am I just getting married, like you said in the beginning, Miss London, because people are asking, and it's past that time for me, or it's about that time, and everybody else is getting married, all my friends are getting married? Is that why I want to get married, or is it because I truly feel like I'm ready to do that? And like you said, some people don't ever get married, but it's up to your expectation and up to your dream and vision that God has for you and what you want. You can say, okay, I'm at this age now, and I'm probably never going to get married. But is that what you want? And if it's not what you want, then talk to God about it and say, God, I still do want to get married. It doesn't look like how I envisioned, because I thought I'd be married like in my 20s. But now I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s. Like, it doesn't look exactly what I expected or anticipated. But God, I still want to get married. And it's okay to say that. And it's okay to still want that. And I know a lot of times in social media, older women get shamed for wanting to get married. I think Essence Atkins, she's been in a lot of movies with the Wayans family, Marlon, and she's in a lot of African American movies. And people in the comments control her and say, it's too late and all that. She's still a beautiful woman. A lot of people will say that, and she's still, and I didn't really know she was a person of faith in that way, but she is. And but even if you're a person of faith or not, look at how many times J Lo got married. She even has a video out now talking about, kind of showing off of how all she married all these different people, and it's got some fun dance numbers in it. But she finally, hopefully, this is a love of her life, Ben Affleck, and she's gonna be done with all of the marrying. But again, she's in her 50s. She could have said, I don't think that I can marry again. I don't want to start over. But she did it, and she seems to be happy right now. So I think her name is Yvette Brown Clark. She's a comedian. I think she's in her 40s, and she recently found someone, and let people know, yes, I finally have a fiance. There's many other stories where, okay, you don't have to be 20s, 30s, you can be 40s, 50s, and still find the person that God has for you. But if you're not in that moment, in that season yet, maybe you can ask yourself why. So I said, ask myself, why didn't I get married? And set up that whole scenario for myself as a learning lesson, and to kind of put closure to that relationship, and just kind of some of the other relationships that I didn't think about in the past. Is there a pattern? Is there a reason why things haven't worked out? And it doesn't just have to be getting married. It could be just your past relationships. Like, you might have had a few serious relationships that didn't work out. You might want to look back and think to yourself, why? So I think it's very beneficial also for your mental health as well. So that's why
Yeah,
I decided to do this.
Yeah, I think it's really good too because I just in my opinion, even though we haven't heard the podcast yet, but we're gonna look forward to it. There's a lot of red flags, and sometimes it's beneficial not to be get caught up in it yet. And I like how you said why did not get married, but as the Lord continues to let you live, you don't ever know what's going to happen down the line, and it might be sooner or farther down the line. And a lot of times, I know some people do get married later. I don't know. It looks like sometimes it may last or something, maybe because of life's experiences. I don't know. So I mean, of course, if God put it together, then it's going to work. So I think life is exciting, and it's exciting to watch to see, what God has in store for you. And I think it's really good that you appreciate and that you understand that since you are God's child, that He's looking out for you, and
That's
everything
right.
that's done in your life is purposeful and it's on purpose that God is watching out for you. And a lot of times we don't understand it because it's natural to to be married or want to be married or look forward to a married life. But at the same time, everything doesn't happen the same time for everybody. Um, you know, and like I said, I wanted some. Why did I get married again? I've been married but once, so hey, perhaps that's enough. But it's not. It's never over. It's never ever over. I see people getting married. I personally know somebody that's one of our actors. A couple people at her church got married. This guy, he's in his 80s, and she's in her 80s too. I'm like, wow, and they got married. They still got married. So love can never it never ends. When you find it, you find it. And I even saw something on Facebook, YouTube, was it Twitter, where a couple got married, and they were in their 80s and 90s. So I mean, life's not over, and um, I realized from where I was at my younger age and to where I am now, I need to get to even know myself. A lot of times it's good to know yourself, understand who you are, uh, understand what you like. And I think, marriage is nice anytime it comes if things go right. But I think maturity is a good thing. Like to be a little more seasoned is a good thing because maybe it'll help with better decision making. Especially if you had any type of experiences with a friend or a partner, or somebody says, "Oh, let's get married," but it doesn't happen, or get married and it does happen and it's a flop. So it's a lot of reasons why some people go through what they go through, but God is the awesome guy. He's gonna watch out for His, and we might be hurt for a minute because that happened to me too. God told me to don't marry him. It's like actually he was telling. I'm usually I came from a woman being taught that a wife or a woman, no matter what status you are, if you're independent, or whatever, if you have someone that you're looking to be your spouse, that you listen to them and you sometimes almost like let them dictate what you do, which to me, you got to be careful about that. I had to learn about that. So it's almost like I'll be dictated. I want to marry you. Going to get married in a year. And I'm going like I didn't even have a say so yet, and because I didn't have a say so, I was going along with this kind of, and I just thank God for watching out for me because God told me He's gonna pick up the phone, call and tell you goodbye that you're not getting married. And because some people lead you on and they lead you on, and both parties need to have something to say about make a decision on what you're doing and to agree. And this is a good way to start because if you go in a marriage like that with one is telling the other one what to do and you just going along, eventually something may become a big seriously imbalance. Somebody may just not be very happy. So I think a good understanding, people respecting each other, people talking things out. And I just say if it work for God, and then so I can talk about it now because now I can look back on it and say, wow, he's planning. We're gonna be married in a year. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Such and such and such and such. And like,
Right.
told me no. So a lot of times God will he'll bless you not to, so you won't get in trouble at that particular
Yeah, so the man is the leader, and I'm glad that at least that person was taking the leadership initiative, but you weren't on board. So one of my points and things that I've learned also is that you have to find the right leader, because as a woman, you're in a position where you have to follow, for the most part. And I don't really want a man that's gonna follow me. I do believe there are relationships out there where the woman does lead, but I believe in the way that God set it up, and that we should be following the man. So as a woman, you should be looking for a man that has the leadership qualities that you need. He's going the direction you want to go. So I think that's one of my issues. But I also feel like with dating and relationships, and some of my relationships, is that sometimes we deal with people that either try to go along to get along to stay with you, so they act like they're into it, and at some point they diverge, and then you see the reality of what they always were wanting or thinking. So sometimes you're dealing with pretenders, you're not dealing with the real person, you're dealing with the masked character. So you have to always keep that in mind as a woman. um, I do feel that women can do this as well, but I feel like a lot of men put on that masked character for so long, to the point that it can be very manipulative, and you think you're getting one thing, but you end up getting another. And I know
time.
some guys talk about us with all our makeup on and say they you think you getting this, but you take her makeup off and all that stuff. It's something similar to that. The same thing goes on with women to men. When you have a man that, he looks like he's in a good leadership position and he has things going on for him, which is great. But how's his mindset? How's his mental health? Is he able to lead you in the direction you want to go for your future, or does he have like a totally separate plan, or does he have a hidden agenda and you have no idea? So these
Mhm.
are all elements in relationships. These can also be elements of why you didn't get married, and if they are, then it can be understandable of why that relationship ended. But I mean, there's so many different elements and things that can happen in somebody's life, and everybody has their own story. So hopefully, by listening to my story, you kind of reflect and see some similarities, and you can say, "Oh, well, that was different for me." But we can all at the end of the day see that when you're in something that you shouldn't be in, God is going to remove it and take it away, because I don't think I wanted that removal process, and I was trying to hold on to that, but you know God did what he did the way he wanted it to be done. And I told him it was in his hands, because I felt like at some point I kind of got lost in the relationship. I was like, well, God, I know you're going to just take care of me through this, because I'm not sure where this is headed. And certain things that happened in the relationship, I saw his hand was in it. And I saw why, okay, this is why it happened this way when I go back and reflect. But again, like through our podcast, you'll hear more, because I kind of tell the basis of my story, but I do want to get into deeper levels of the story and just relationships in general. And you can get some of that from our podcast series called Single Christian Girl. Again, that's at cbiztvmedia.com. So if you want to listen to that project, why I didn't get married, please do. I don't want to tell you all the story and give it away, because I need you to support me. So go to cbiztvmedia.com. There you will find the project. And you also find our podcast where we talk about more things, love and relationships. So if you're interested in faith, love, and trends, what's going on, the trends of today when it comes to love, faith, relationships, life, that's what our podcast is about. We also have some great guests on there as well. But let's talk about it, because I do also have an event that I'm working on, um, vision of love, romance goals, um, vision board. And I know a lot of people do vision boards, but I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone do a vision board just based on, okay, this is what the partner that I want. And it doesn't just have to be the partner that you want, the type of things that they have going on. Excuse me, excuse my alarm. The type of lifestyle they have, but it could also be okay. This is the character of the person that I want. This is the place that I need to be in mentally to accept this person. So your vision board can be a mix of a lot of different things. It doesn't just have to be dreamy pictures of handsome looking men, but we want to get a little bit deeper into the details of, okay, what do I want my relationship to look like? I mean, we do it for our career goals, we do it for our life. A lot of people do vision boards. So I thought it would be a great idea to really tune in. If you are single and you don't want to be single anymore, and you really want to put the work in to at least see what's going on when it comes to your relationship life, even if you don't get with somebody right away, at least you have intent. Because I feel like I've lacked intent in the past, and it was just like, oh, he likes me, so I'm gonna go with him, yay! But he was not the one. He wasn't mentally in the same place as myself. We weren't on the same page, different mindsets, going different directions. So of course you're not going to get married in those type of scenarios. But I know we have another show coming up, Miss London, because my alarm went off. I know you have some more programming, but I want to thank you for this time to share and talk about my project, why I didn't get married. It's nothing wrong with focusing on your love life, your dreams and your goals in that area. I know we're single, amazing, independent women, but also if that's a part of you that needs to be fulfilled, your relationships, your romantic relationships, don't hesitate to really delve into that and look into that and see how you can be successful in that way as well. Again, check out my project. Support me. I love you. cbiztvmedia.com. This is Irene. Thank you, Miss London, for the opportunity to be on your awesome platform.
And thank you for all the information. We look forward to your podcast. Thank you so much. We love you, everybody. Bye.